Hey everybody, welcome into Old Mountain Bricks. Today we're taking a look at a special set. This is part of the BrickLink Designer Program Series 3. It is an official subsidiary of LEGO and is made with official LEGO pieces. Set number 910041 containing 669 pieces. The Camping Adventure, designed by Joshua, I think is a step in the right direction that I hope LEGO does more of. The back of the box shows the other side of the camper and the tree build. What I'm going to do today, we're going to do a quick time-lapse speed build of the set. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the build process, which is important for any LEGO set. And then I'll give you my thoughts on the set overall in a review. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll tell you why this set is one of the best ones they've put out in a long time. Let's get started. As we cut into the BrickLink Designer Program box, you can see it's just like a LEGO set there. Inside there are numbered plastic bag stills. As we sort them all out, you will see that it comes with one extra piece and a little card that you can scan for digital instructions, as it does not come with paper instructions. Getting started with the build, you start with the base of the little diorama that you're building for the camping adventure, using a number of different styled plates and colors in order to kind of give it a nice natural look. Then you go ahead and add some of the details I thought was kind of interesting, including like the foliage and other vegetation. And then you finally get started with the camper van itself. Inside it uses that nice sand green color, nice details inside that you go ahead and put in there, along with like a nice little mattress or quilt, and adds some nice little details. It uses a snot building technique to kind of build the walls, which was fun. I had a little bit of issue putting it together because it wasn't as up to LEGO standard as some other things, but the tree went together pretty well at the end, and I'm excited to look at it with you. And here is the LEGO BrickLink Designer Program Series 3 Camping Adventure. Definitely had some interesting build techniques to it, some things that felt a little illegal, but I kind of like that as it's a bit of a change in pace from other LEGO sets. First, overall impressions of it, I really like it. The base of it is a little strange to put together, and it's not something you might keep in a LEGO city if you're just kind of wanting it for the actual camper. I like how it's in a diorama or vignette setting there, so it kind of gives it enough life to just have it displayed on its own, or you could take it out and look at it individually, which we'll do in just a moment. Rotating it around comes with this nice tree build you saw at the end, using kind of like that flame orange yellow color and a few other things to kind of have the fall aesthetic going on. Back of the camper van got some flower pieces there, some laundry hanging up, and a nice little water spigot with some water on the ground and a bucket there. That's for some nice details. Over to this side, some more flowers, the hitch for the camper van, and some fern pieces, as well as a fire that is kind of strangely built, at least in my opinion there. Has the nice printed pieces on the ends, but the fire is kind of leaving the camp area, so I feel like you should have had that built up a little more. Only you can prevent wildfires, so I don't think these guys are doing a great job. But besides that, the little girl is happy. She's got her little marshmallow ready to do some s'mores. The dad's here with the axe, and we'll take a closer look at them in a second. You've got a folding chair, and again, the nice tree. But let's take a closer look at the camper van now. It is just jumpered in spot, so you can just easily pick it up like that. Underneath it, you can see the two jumpers it kind of attaches to. With this being the main build, you can see it uses kind of like the sand green color and white for the outside. The outside awnings kind of like the dark blue and teal colors. Rotating it around, it's got the rear lights on it there and some nice curvature. Again, there's like the clothes we saw in the little spigot, little air conditioning unit on top using a nice printed piece, and a little flower at the front, and that hitch there, so you could probably attach it to another vehicle if you had it. The top of the camper van can be removed to see some of the interior details just by kind of lifting up on it. It's held into place by two little studs there. Underneath it, you can see a little light that's built into it. But in here, you can see a lot of the detail. You've got just a bed, a little range or oven, a sink, and a few other utensils like a pan, another knife, and some other little drawers kind of throughout. Up in this section, you've got some storage for hats for both of the minifigures there. So that's a nice little touch that it comes with that. But other than that, it doesn't look like it holds two people, but I think it's okay. But it has enough detail to get the job across, and it was fun to put together kind of using a snot technique or studs knot on top in order to kind of get those nice wall panels all built sideways rather than just up and down. The front door can hinge open. It's just a little difficult to get in there to get it, but if you can. But once you do, it does kind of hinge open like that, so the minifigures can get inside. Got some grill pieces to help with safety going up in there. The only thing I don't really like on the outside here is it has those exposed hinge pieces, which I understand that's the way it needs to go for it to work, but just takes away from it just a little bit for me. Underneath, the awning can go up and down as it has hinges, but these poles do stay in place in order. You'd have to take those out in order to close it down. So I'm sure you could if you wanted to attach this and have it drive down the city or something. And here are the leftover pieces for this set. Just a lot of smalls and a few printed pieces, which is nice. Here's just a closer look at those minifigures. The little girl there, just with a nice printed vest and the short legs, again with the marshmallow. And then the dad, nothing too special here, just kind of a flannel print on the front and plain legs and a little flannel printing on the back. Here they are with the alternative hats. They have one is like a helmet because there is a bicycle included with the set, and the other one is a red hat. I'm sure you can interchange these if you wanted to as well, but it's nice that they were included. And here's just a quick look at the scene there. The tree does have like a butterfly, a moth, and a red cardinal just hiding over right there. But I love the amount of detail they were able to put just in this little scene here. Again, just adding the fern elements and other small pieces and just a little bit of elevation to make it a bit more unique and break it up instead of something very square. Only thing I don't really like about this set is this little folding chair. It was a fun little build, but I believe it's too high up. If you put a minifigure next to it, it's basically the same height as them, so that's a very tall chair. So probably this technique should have been maybe put down a little further into the plate. They could have done that, I believe, based on how they were doing it to make it make a little bit more sense, but again, for what it is, I think it's okay, but it just seems quite high, and I like that they included it, but that's the only kind of strange thing about this set. Overall, final thoughts on this set. It's a great little set. It's a shame that it's a BrickLink Designer Program that a lot of folks won't have access to. LEGO has had a trend recently of making the biggest sets possible, charging exorbitant amounts of money, and I think missing some of the core consumers here. But something I've said recently on the channel here is LEGO needs to make more smaller sets that are expert level. And what I mean by that, I mean it is a pleasure to put together and it doesn't break the bank to get. I do like that they at least put it out, and I'm going to keep beating this drum that LEGO needs to continue to make more smaller sets. That's what folks really want. Doing the hundreds and hundreds of dollar sets is good, but you also need to balance it with kind of 18 plus style, kind of cheaper sets, I think. And doing things like this with this scene here is just a great way to do that. And I think this is a great set, so if you ever see it in the secondary market for not too expensive, I definitely would recommend picking this one up. But again, let me know your thoughts on the set in the comments below. Subscribe to Old Mountain Bricks for even more LEGO reviews, LEGO City, and other updates coming your way. And until next time, thanks for coming by Old Mountain Bricks today. Have a good one.